Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's webinar. Today I will be your host. My name is Georgia, and maybe some of you we have already exchanged emails if you have contacted support. So I will be your host for today. And today we are going to cover the seventh tutorial and part of the eighth one, which covers phi shapes, tools that allow us to give more precise shapes to our phi designs. So we will speak about flattening, making edges linear, um, designing circles and arcs, and also copying edges. We will also have an introduction to the Tangencies tool, which is part of tutorial 8, and we will continue that next time. Okay, so let me show you my screen if I ever manage to. Okay, good. So we're in the phi interface. I have created this test body. One reminder on how to access phi. While we are in our OnShape document, we go to the plus icon and go to applications and click on phi, provided that we have already added phi from the App Store. This will open a new phi tab where we can work, but you know those already. So the first tool that we're going to see is the flatten tool, which is quite simple. In its simplest form, we click a face and we simply click the button to have a flat surface. Now, regarding the orientation of this flat face, usually phi can and will select it automatically, the orientation, but if I want it to be parallel to an orthogonal plane, phi will also do that for me. So if an orthogonal plane is very close to what phi calculates from the parameters and the geometry of the face, then it will make it parallel to an existing orthogonal plane. So in this case, it has made it parallel to the top face, the XY plane. However, if I want to give the exact orientation for a shape, for example, I want these three vertices to stay where they are and the plane to pass from these three vertices, I can simply select them, and by selecting the face, phi will respect that and keep the vertices in place. So these are the ways we have to orient the flattened faces. And of course we can always select more than one faces, and these apply there as well, the orientation settings, and phi will flatten all these three faces together. Except apart from faces, we can also flatten edges. So if, for example, I have a set of edges, a loop or a chain of edges that is not flat in any direction, I can simply select it and hit flatten, and Phi will apply that as well. Okay. Yes, I'm not sure that worked. So, for example, this loop, I want to make it flat. So I simply select it and hit the same button. Now there are, you might have noticed that there are edges in two colors in Phi. Some of them are this blue, this darker blue, and some of them are quite lighter blue. This is actually a signal that signifies the linearity of the edge. So for example, this edge at the moment is straight, it's linear, but if I deform it, it loses its linearity and it becomes darker blue. In order to make a line linear or to manually remove its linearity, we simply select it and hit this button or click L. So linearity is remembered. So if I make some changes that do not directly change the edge of the the shape of the edge, linearity will remain. And the same way I can make edges collinear. So I select more than one continuous edges and I hit either this button or Shift L, and this way the start and the end of the chain that I selected remain, stay put, but the rest change so that the chain becomes collinear. And now this next tool allows us to give circular shapes to our edges. So if, for example, I select simply a face, let's say this one, and I hit this button, Phi will quickly, automatically just give me a circular shape that Phi thinks is the best according to the geometry of that face. And I can also do that for a loop of edges. For example, here. Or I can simply select some edges or even one edge that do not form a closed loop, and Phi will make an arc of them. In both of these cases, I can always have selected an edge, a vertex, and if I do that, Phi will use that vertex as the center of the circle or the arc that it creates. So in these cases, we have seen that Phi has decided the radius and the orientation and all the parameters of the circle created. However, in some cases we might want to decide those. So we have this tool where we can select the parameters, and let's go here, for example. And let's say I want Phi to make a circle where the center will be exactly at 0. Yes, at the beginning of the axis, and the diameter should be exactly 15 millimeters. Then Phi will respect those. And there's also another setting there that allows me to set the orientation of the circle that is created. And these buttons, these degrees, will allow me to do that. So I can take, let me show you, this will be easier this way. If I hide these faces and show you yes. So for example, if I want this face to become circular, I would go here and follow this this pattern to give the orientation and the angles according to the axis. So for example, I want this to have 90 degrees with my Z axis, and let's say 0 degrees for the phi angle. Okay, I leave these, let's say, as phi wants them, and then I have the orientation as I wanted it. Okay, and if I'm unsure of this, of course I can always leave these as phi. For example, I can just leave them, leave phi to automatically decide for those, and then use the tools that we already have seen to change those manually later. Okay, so we have seen these three tools so far: flattening, making linear and collinear, and making circular. The last tool, the last shaping tool for today. Let me hide these, we don't need them. Is this copy edge button, which allows us to copy edges. For example, if I have this edge and I want this one to be an exact scaled copy of the one I created, what I do is first I select the original edge, the one I want to make copies of. So I select the edge, and then I select one of its vertices, and this is because in some cases the edge is not symmetric and it could be like this, for example. So I select the vertex to indicate the side, the end of the edge I'm trying to replicate, and then I go and select the edge that I want to give shape to. So for example this one, and let's say I want them to have the same direction. So I will select this vertex. Oops, sorry about this, I moved everything, I accidentally misclicked. Okay, so I have selected again my original edge and the edge that I want to become a copy, and then I simply click this button and I see that these edges now have the same shape, only this one is bigger because it was bigger before. You can see that this is another button, another copy button, but we will see that later on when we discuss about multiple bodies. Of course, you can check it out yourself and explore everything. So these were the shape buttons of this group. And now we are going to see a file mode that we call Tangent Manager. And you can see it if you click here. So clicking on this button has I have entered into the Tangency mode, and I can tell so, first of all, because there's a ball over this button, and secondly, because I can see these little handles in every end of every edge. So clicking without anything selected will just show all tangency handles. But to make things more clear, let me select just one edge. So now I can only see the handles of this edge that I selected. And you can see that the handles here are green. Before, maybe you saw here that we also have purple handles, and we also have another color that we will see later. But for now, let's see what do these colors signify. So a green handle means that the end of the edge is free to move, with the edge. So if I, for example, deform the edge, then you can see that the handle follows. So this is the simplest type that we have. The second type is purple handles, and these are actually found in pairs. So whenever you see a purple handle, it means that there's another one there. You can see. So these actually mean that the edge is smooth with its neighbor at this point. And in order for it to remain smooth, it doesn't change when I deform it. So let's say that it's locked. We can change that, of course, and we will see how right now. Let me show you the first tool, which is Edit. So in order to give a particular orientation to the end of the edge that we want, we simply select the handle by clicking very close to the end of the edge, and then by clicking this button we have the move manipulator show up that allows us to rotate the handle as we like and in any direction we like. So you can see the handle that I'm handling right now has become yellow, and when I'm done, when I give the direction that I want, I simply click outside, and now you can see two things. First of all, the handle is now red, and this is the third color that we have, which signifies what? That the handle is now locked. So moving the edge will not change the orientation of the tangency of the edge, of the tangent, I'm sorry, of the edge. So you can see here that the green end moves, it's free to move, However, let me hide this, it's more clear this way. Here where we have locked on the left side, you can see that the edge remains steady at its end. Okay, so these are actually basically the three colors that we will encounter, and now you know what all of them mean. In order to unlock a tangency that we have locked, or if we just want to lock something that we haven't edited, we can use the second button, which is lock tangent. So again, to select the tangent that we want to edit, we simply click on the edge very close to the end that we want, and then here the ball shows us that this tangent is locked. So clicking here unlocks it, and again it's free to move. And if we want to lock it again, or let's say if I want to lock this one, I simply hit the same button. And okay, that was all I wanted to introduce for today. So let me see if there are any questions. Okay, so I don't see any questions. Let me change again. Okay, yes, so again, if you try something by yourself and find some difficulty, you can always write to us at support@phi3d.com, and we will see you next Wednesday to continue the tangent manager and see the content of tutorial 8, which is smoothness and continuity on Phi, very big chapter. Of course, we are always very happy to hear from you, to see your designs. So if you make something you're proud of, or if you have any feedback for us, please feel free to write. And yes, don't forget to subscribe if you like, or follow us on our other social media. And so thank you very much for joining today. See you next time. Goodbye.